When you sit down to play chess, you're not just engaging in a game of strategy, you're part of a centuries-old tradition. But have you ever wondered why each chess piece is designed the way it is? Why does the bishop look like a pointed hat, the rook like a castle, and the knight resemble a horse's head? The answers lie in the game's rich history, evolution, and the mathematical precision embedded in every move. Chess, as we know it today, has a history that stretches back over 1,000 years, originating in India and evolving through different cultures and eras. The pieces we see on a modern chessboard are more than mere symbols. They represent roles and movements that have been shaped by centuries of tradition. Each piece's design and its movement are a blend of cultural significance, historical evolution, and even mathematical thought. Let's take a journey through the history of chess pieces, their designs, and the intriguing reasons behind their movements. The king is the most important piece on the chessboard. After all, the entire game revolves around its safety. Originating from ancient Indian chess, chaturanga, the king's design has always reflected royalty and sovereignty. Its simple crown symbolizes its status, yet its limited movement is a reminder of the vulnerabilities of even the most powerful monarchs. Historically, the cross or fleur-de-lis symbolizes sovereignty and divine right, underscoring the king's status as the game's ultimate figure of authority. In medieval times, kings were often surrounded by forces that controlled the kingdom, just as the king in chess is the piece most at risk, requiring constant defense. The king's single square movement makes it mathematically simple, yet highly important in the game's strategy. The limited range requires players to think in terms of positioning, protecting the king, and strategizing with other pieces to defend it effectively. The king's movement introduces a focus on positional play and the necessity for careful calculation in the late stages of the game. The queen evolved from the counselor or mantri from ancient Indian chess. The queen in early forms like shatranj could only move one square diagonally, but as chess evolved, so did its design. When chess spread through Europe in the 15th century, the queen gained its modern-day ability to move any number of squares in any direction. This shift symbolized the rise of powerful queens during the European Renaissance, such as Queen Isabella of Spain and Queen Elizabeth I. In a chess game, she's the most dynamic and powerful piece, reflecting the growing political and social influence of queens at the time. Mathematically, the queen is a game changer. Her ability to control long lines in any direction makes her an unparalleled force on the board. And her versatility introduces mathematical complexity, allowing players to orchestrate intricate attacks or defenses. The queen's power is fundamental to strategies involving space control, material gain, and checkmate patterns. The rook, originally known as the chariot in ancient Indian chess, took the form of a castle or fortress in European designs. The rook represents strength, defense, and unyielding power. Its design as a castle or tower embodies the idea of a stronghold, an essential part of a kingdom's security, just as the rook plays a key role in protecting the king. Mathematically, the rook's straight-line movement across ranks and files introduces clear patterns for controlling rows and columns. Its mathematical significance lies in how it can quickly change the game by controlling open files, creating threats, and forcing strategic retreats or moves. The bishop evolved from the elephant or gaja in ancient Indian chess. While it started as a more limited piece in early versions, its design and movement became refined in medieval chess, representing the clergy's role in guiding kingdoms. The bishop's pointed hat, or mitre, emphasizes the religious connotation, symbolizes its spiritual authority, and distinguishes it from other pieces. Just as bishops in medieval times were influential figures in courts and kingdoms, its diagonal movement can be seen as representing the spiritual or moral guidance of the church, often providing key defensive or offensive maneuvers. The bishop's diagonal movement introduces mathematical precision in controlling colored squares. The mathematical importance lies in the strategic control of angles and patterns, especially in positioning and controlling key areas. The knight is one of the most distinctive pieces on the board, designed as a horse's head to reflect the role of cavalry in medieval warfare. Its unusual L-shaped move, 2 squares in one direction and 1 square perpendicular, has remained a key characteristic from its origins in early chess games like chaturanga. The knight pays homage to the mounted cavalry, a tactical force capable of unexpected maneuvers on the battlefield. Its movement reflects the idea of surprise and flexibility, much like how knights in history were often able to make swift, unpredictable moves during battle. The knight's L-shaped movement adds a level of complexity to chess, creating unique opportunities for forks and attacks. Mathematically, its ability to jump over pieces and move in non-linear ways introduces patterns that differ from the more traditional linear movements of other pieces. The knight's tactical power lies in its unpredictability and ability to cover areas that are difficult for other pieces to access. The pawn represents the infantry or foot soldiers, and its design is simple and unassuming. Its most unique feature is its ability to transform upon reaching the other side of the board, symbolizing the potential for growth and change, much like the rise of individuals from humble beginnings to positions of power. The pawn represents sacrifice, progress, and the potential for greatness. Its journey across the board mirrors the struggles of ordinary people, striving for something greater, symbolizing both resilience and the power of transformation. The pawn's movement, advancing 1 square at a time but capturing diagonally, introduces an element of strategy that's mathematically significant. Its transformation upon promotion is one of the most critical aspects of the game, offering players a chance to convert pawns into powerful pieces. Pawns are the driving force behind many opening strategies and endgame tactics, and their potential to promote adds an element of complexity that is central to chess's mathematical beauty. From the mighty queen to the humble pawn, each chess piece is more than just a functional element of the game. It carries a history, symbolism, and mathematical significance that reflect the evolution of chess across cultures and centuries. The modern Staunton design, created in the mid-19th century by Nathaniel Cook and endorsed by Howard Staunton, a prominent chess player, is the most widely recognized and used today. The Staunton pieces are noted for their balance of aesthetic appeal and functional clarity, making them suitable for both casual play and competitive tournaments. So the next time you sit at the chessboard, remember that each piece you move is a part of a grand legacy, shaped by history, rich in meaning, and governed by mathematical principles.